When you think of vibrant, what comes to mind? Let's take my clothing today, for example. Would you consider the shirt that I'm wearing to be vibrant? No, it's brown and I look like the North American beaver. So, what happens if you don't invest in your soul? Does anything happen? Do I just stay neutral? Does my soul just kind of stay like right in the middle and nothing really good or nothing bad happens to it? Absolutely not. Think of it this way. If you don't invest in your soul, the world will invest in your soul. And it will make deposits every single day. It will invest something continuously and constantly. If your soul, if you think about it like an apartment or a house, you can fill it with all sorts of things. If you're investing in it positively and you're trying to fill it with good things, you're trying to fill it with God, with prayer, with time and meditation and scripture, you're surrounding yourself with positive people who are trying to point you towards God, you're gonna invest really well in your soul and you're gonna fill that apartment or that house with great things, and the world's not gonna be able to invest and it's not gonna be able to get things in. But on the flip side, if it's empty, the world will invest in such a way that you're gonna have all sorts of things move into your space that you didn't want. Things like lust, things like greed, things like pride, selfishness, narcissism. You're gonna allow your thoughts to drift and the world's just gonna start to dominate a little bit. You're gonna have squatters. You know what a squatter is? Squatter is somebody that moves into a place where they don't pay rent and they don't belong and they just stay. And you can't get them out, right? So you're gonna have spiritual squatters. The enemy and the world is going to bless you with those things. And we're gonna try to pry them out and try to get them out. You're gonna start to replace them with things like love and kindness and patience. That lust and that anger and that greed, that's gonna be hard to get out. So we want to avoid that at all costs, because when the world starts to invest in your soul, your orientation towards God gets way off. And you don't want to become rich towards God anymore. You want to become rich towards the world. I gotta have more stuff. I gotta have more things, more sex, more status, and that will make me whole. But if you're joining us here today, you probably know that that's not the case. So we want to avoid that. So the first thing that we need to do, if we're going to invest in our soul, is develop a vibrant relationship towards God. Vibrant relationship with God. What is vibrant? When you think of vibrant, what comes to mind? Let's take my clothing today, for example. Would you consider the shirt that I'm wearing to be vibrant? No, it's brown and I look like the North American beaver. So, not vibrant. Not vibrant at all. If you're thinking of something vibrant, you want to think of something with passion, right? With energy, with enthusiasm, with joy, with love. It's bright, it's strong, it's shining. It's something that easily catches your eye and you want to be a part of it. And I was thinking to myself, do I have an example of a vibrant garment that I could share with the church? And I absolutely do. Now, full disclosure, Pastor Andy down at Seymour and Pastor Matt on the online campus, you're going to hate this, but frankly, I don't care. How vibrant is this? Don't boo, don't boo. At our other you need to know at the Greenwood campus, there are people weeping right now because of how vibrant this is. They're being overcome with love and joy. Look at how vibrant and striking. That beautiful shade of green, your eyes are immediately drawn to it. You want to become a fan right now, don't you? I can feel it. I can feel it all the way up here. If you have questions about that after service, let me know. I'll help you along the way. A Dallas Cowboys fan stopped me in the middle of, or before the 11 o'clock service. He said, hey, I got another shirt you can bring up there, white, blue star on it. What do you think? I was like, it's kind of dull, don't you think? Like, I want vibrant, right? What about a vibrant relationship? What relationships in your life do you have that you would consider to be vibrant? They're strong, they give you joy, they give you love, they give you hope, make you laugh, right? I was thinking about those for myself. That's gotta be like, my wife comes to mind immediately. I would consider that to be a vibrant relationship. We laugh a lot, we have a great time. My brothers, my kids, my dad, those are vibrant relationships. We enjoy being in each other's company. We enjoy spending time with one another. It's borderline effortless being around those people. Well, sometimes with my kids, they're 8 and 4, so there's a little effort there sometimes, as you can probably relate. But you can have vibrant relationships with people, but you can also have a vibrant relationship with God. And so I was thinking, okay, what makes a vibrant relationship with people? How can we apply that towards God? What's the first thing I gotta do? I think you gotta think about him. You gotta think about God. If you love somebody and you're in a vibrant relationship with them, don't you think about them from time to time? Like, especially if you're in that true love like phase, somebody you're trying to date. Man, I wonder what they're wearing, wonder what work's like, wonder what their hair looks like today. Got those warm, fuzzy feelings, right? You think about them. You think about them all the time. You want to know what they're up to, what their day's like. Do you ever do the same with God? Do you ever think about God's perspective for your life, and all the things he's blessed you with, all the things that he's brought you through if you've gone through something really hard. Have you ever thought about his will as you've read scripture? Have you ever thought about the way he's reacting to a prayer that you prayed a year ago and you're going back through your journal and you're like, wow, that was the result of that prayer? You ever think about him like that? Do you ever allow yourself to think about him, to just take time? Thomas Watson was a Puritan. He had this really great quote on what it can be like to think about God. He says, the first fruit of love is the musing of the mind upon God. He who is in love, his thoughts are ever upon the object. He who loves God is ravished and transported with the contemplation of God. It's almost like it takes you to another place, right? If you want a vibrant relationship with God and you want to invest in your soul, fill your mind with God, with his ways, with his desires, with just his nature and the things that he has created. And I will tell you this, if you're sitting there in your guilt, you're like, man, I don't ever think about God. It's all good. This isn't a guilt talk. You don't need to feel guilty about anything. But you should know that God thinks about you. Did you know that? Have you ever thought about that? One of my favorite verses in scripture, I memorized it a long time ago, was Psalm 8:4. What is man that you are mindful of him, and the son of man that you care for him? What is man that you are mindful of him? This is the psalmist just musing, just sitting there contemplating the beauty of the fact that we have a sovereign God, an all-knowing and all-powerful God who thinks about us. That's pretty cool, isn't it?